You can imagine someone dies and then they just get water, they power through the aperture, the mouth, then they squeeze his stomach until that water comes out from the anus. They repeat that until the water comes clean, and then they use that water to prepare a meal for the whole community to enjoy at the burial. Omuntu yaheza kufa bakwata omutumbi bagutwara omu mwanya gubakoreramu emigenzo, bakwata omunwa basharaho kakye aha munwa guba mahangu, bashukamu amaizi, baza ahibondo barimata okushitya obwaga amaizi garareetwa omu kibunu, then aga amaizi nago barikuteegyesa ebyokurya abantu bakarya harufu. You see?
The pride of Uganda, spreading joy from Kampala to Jinja. Oh, Didanaruho, our shining star, guiding Africa's dreams near and far.
Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this video from. I'm always saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because I understand different people are in different places and we have different time zones. For example, someone who is in Europe and someone who is in Africa, we have two different time zones. Not even two, but we have different type zones. So that's why sometimes I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because I know it depends on the time you're watching this video and maybe when you're watching the video. Anyway, my name is Dedan. That's my name. And I come from Uganda. Uganda is in East Africa. East Africa is in Africa. And Uganda is the best country we have on the planet or in the world because it is a part of Africa. And we all know, me and you, that Africa is the best continent. So Uganda being a part of Africa, that means Uganda is the best country. Anyway, my YouTube channel is Dedan Vlogs. I want to thank whoever comes to watch my videos. I don't take it for granted. I started this YouTube channel in last year 2014. That was September, 9th of September. So we are not even a year, but at least we are doing great. If you compare this YouTube channel with other YouTube channels, at least you see there is some improvement and there is some promising effort that is happening on the channel. So I want to thank whoever comes to watch my videos, and I want to thank that person who has subscribed to the channel. In case you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, please kindly subscribe, because that's the only way you can support me. And you can always give this video a like, you share to your friends. If, for example, you find this video interesting, you can give it a like, and you can even share with your friends, or you can actually go to the comment section and say something about the video. I would really be happy, and that's very cool. So I've not been feeling well, that is the truth. If you guys have been following my channel, you realize I've not been posting the videos actually for the whole past week. The whole week I've not been fine, that's the truth. If you watched my second last video, I was telling you that I have issues with my mouth. I had some wounds in my mouth, so it was really hard for me to speak. And for the YouTube channel, you have to speak up. So it was really hard for me to speak. That's why I have not been recording videos. But yesterday, I don't know if this video is going to be out today, but I'm saying yesterday, my previous video, I was talking about the one of the tribes in Namibia anyway. But still, I'm not feeling well, okay? But I promise you, during weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, I'm always, gonna be giving you such type of videos. I've realized that this type of videos you also need to know and maybe understand them. So on Saturday and Sunday, I'm always going to be giving you this type of videos, okay? Now, let me first tell you this. These type of videos, I record them, I do research and, find these tribes and cultures, different cultures from the whole world. But I pray so hard that maybe in future, if this YouTube channel becomes, becomes successful and maybe we start earning from the channel, me and you, then we shall have the money to travel and maybe, explore these cultures and tribes. What I'm saying is when I get the money, after the channel has been monetized, we shall probably start to travel and, for example, we go to Namibia, we go to Africa, we go to Europe, and we see different cultures and we see different tribes, so that we can actually see these things on camera. But for now, you just have to bear with me. I will always be doing some research about different cultures, different tribes, and different traditions around the world, and I always bring them to you. So in my previous video, In case you didn't watch my previous video, I request you go and watch the video because I was talking about something interesting. We're talking about a tribe. That tribe is found in Namibia. Namibia is one of the countries in Africa here. So that tribe is called the Himba. It is called the Himba. In case you didn't watch the video, you guys need to go back and watch my previous video. The tribe is called the Himba. That tribe is found in Namibia. Namibia is one of the countries in Southern Africa, and it borders with the Atlantic Ocean, and it also shares its borders with Angola, Zambia, Botswana, South Africa, and maybe Zimbabwe. So it is one of the good countries in terms of scenery. You know, it is a good desert country that you guys need to go and visit. So we're talking about the Himba people, so you need to go and watch that video. But something special about that tribe, the Himba, is that when you go there and you are a visitor, for example, you go to visit the Himba community and you are a man, what happens is they will actually give you, if for example, okay, me, I'm a man, you come to visit me, also a man, so when you come to visit me, I'll give you my wife and you have free sex with her the entire night. Okay, that means me, I will actually go to the next room or maybe to another room, I sleep there, and then for you will come and sleep with my wife. And in case in my house we don't have an extra room, me, the man of the house, I will have to go out, and you sleep inside the house with my wife. That was very strange, and you know, it happened. Those things still happen if you go to the Himba in Namibia, and they don't even bathe with water. So I request you to go and watch the previous video in case you didn't watch it. It is also interesting, you know. Now today we are looking at something different also. Right, today I want us to go all the way to Malawi. Malawi is also a country here in Africa. Malawi is found in East Africa, in the eastern part of Africa anyway. And Malawi, we have the people that we call the Chewa. But before we go to the Chewa tribe, let's first look at Malawi. Malawi is a republic of Malawi. And before it was actually called Malawi, it was called Nyasaland. And this country is actually a landlocked country. When I say landlocked country, you know what I mean? It has no coast, it has no seaport, it is actually surrounded by other countries. And it is bordered by Zambia. If you go to the north, there is Tanzania. If you go to the east, there is Mozambique. If you go to, you know, so it has so many countries bordering it. Okay, so today I want us to go to Malawi, and we explore one of the tribes in Malawi, which is called the Chewa tribe, okay? Which is called the Chewa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it very well, but it is the Chewa people. The Chewa people, it is a tribe called the Chewa tribe. So I want us to look at this tribe today. We shall explore this tribe and we see what really happens, what they really do when it comes to death. Because one thing you must know, death is natural, okay? Death is natural. But before we look at death, or before we look at this tribe and the traditions they do, let's first look at the Chewa people, okay? The Chewa, or some people they call them the Achewas, okay? If you don't call them the Chewa, you can call them the Achewas. And this is a Bantu ethnic group, and it is found in Malawi. And if you go to maybe some parts of Zimbabwe, they are there. If you go to some parts of Zambia, you will find the Chewa. If you also go to some parts of Mozambique, they are there. So the Chewa, they are closely related to people in surrounding regions like the Tumbuka, the Shona, and the Nsenga. And they are historically also related to the Bemba, okay, with whom they share a similar origin in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And they also share a history with the Mumutapa, you know. So as with the Nsenga and the Tumbuka, a small part of the Chewa territory came under the influence of the Ngoni, who were of Zulu or Natal or the Transvaal origin in South Africa. So an alternative name often used interchangeably with the Chewa is the Nyanja. And the language they speak, it is called the Chichewa. So internationally, the Chewa are mainly known for their masks and their secret societies called the Nyau, as well as their agricultural techniques. So today I want you to sit closely to your phone, to your screen, and watch this video. We're going to be exploring something so strange and something so different about the Chewa people or the Achewa people. But let's first look at their history. Oral records of the Chewa may be interpreted to refer to origins in Marambo, a region in the Luba area of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, from where they migrated into the northern Zambia and then south and east into the highlands of the Malawi. And this settlement appeared sometime before the end of the first millennium, okay? So after conquering land from other Bantu people, they regrouped at Choma, a place associated with a mountain in the northern Malawi and the plateau of the northeastern Zambia. And also oral history has it that the first Chewa kingdom was established sometime before or after 148. And by the 16th century, there were two systems of government, one maintained by the Banda clan at the Makamba near Nakataka, and the other by the Fili clan at the Mathimba. Okay, and by the 17th century, when the Malawi state had been unified, okay, the Portuguese had made some contact with the Chewa. Although the Portuguese did not reach the heartland of the chiefdom, there were well-documented records of the contacts between 1608 and 1667, and by 1750, several Malawi dynasties had consolidated their positions in different parts of central Malawi. But however, the Chewa had managed to distinguish themselves from their neighbors, through language, and by having special tattoo marks, and by the possession of a religious system that was based on the Nyau secret societies. So during the colonial time, the British and the Portuguese missions have converted many of the Christianity, but at least 1/5 or maybe 20% of all the Chewa are Muslims today. So if you go to the Chewa community, 20% of the people there are Muslims. Now, let's dive into today's thing. Today I want us to talk about death. Let's talk about death. I understand death is natural. I always tell people I don't fear death, because even if you fear death, it will still come to you. So you don't have to fear death, because death is something that is natural. You have to die. As long as you have flesh, you have blood, you have to know that maybe at some point you will have to die. You're not immortal. So different cultures have different ways of receiving death. I want you to listen to this video and watch it very carefully. Different African societies have intriguing traditions, cultures, and rituals that are fascinating to learn about. But from the Wadabe tribe, who dance their way to marriage, I also tell you about this. I also tell you about the breastfeeding dads from the Aka Pygmy tribe. Yes, I'm going to be telling you about that. And if you go to Maasai, we have people who drink cattle blood. Tribes across the African continent have different rituals when it comes to death. And the difference lies in how each tribe prepares the deceased to cross over into the ancestral place. Where I come from, I'm a Ugandan, and I come from the western part of the country. So we have a feeling that this is a belief, when someone dies, they go to heaven. So people who believe in God, they believe when someone dies, that person goes to heaven and, sits with God. But some people who believe in the African traditions, they also believe that someone doesn't die. The flesh will disappear, but the spirit of that person will still be around the entire community or the entire house. So tribes across the African continent, they have different rituals when it comes to death. And the difference lies in how each tribe prepares the deceased to cross over into the ancestral place. So today, I want us to talk about the unique festival of the dead of the Chewa tribe. I can promise you, it is probably not what we expect. But before we dive into the festival, let me introduce you to the Chewa community briefly. Like I told you, the Chewa, these are Bantu-speaking people found in Southern Africa, and they live predominantly in Malawi, but also Mozambique, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. But one interesting fact about the Chewa is that they are the matrilineal society. They speak a language known as the Chichewa, and the Chewa people are renowned for their masks, and secret society is called the Nyau. So we hope that gives you a better understanding of the Chewa people. Now let me dive into their view of death and festival. Now, let's first look at how the Chewa people view death. Because like I told you, different cultures, different traditions in Africa have different ways of viewing death. So let's first look at the Chewa. How do they view death? Now, it is fascinating that even after all these years, death is still a bit of an engima to the Chewa community. Something they are still not used to. Years ago, if someone aged 5 to 65 bit the dust, died, it was like stepping into a whole maze of issues. You see, the Chewa people at a time had this culture belief that dying before hitting 65 was unusual, unless it was related to an old age disease. You know, those days, if you went to the Chewa people, for them, they believe that if someone died before clocking 65 years, that was not normal. That's how they view death. That when someone dies before clocking 65 years of age, that is not normal. And that was not the only belief they held about death. If a woman unfortunately experienced a stillbirth, the village elders would get worried and suspicious. They believed that it was a sign that the husband was having an extramarital affair while his wife was pregnant. Did you hear that? In the Chewa community, if a woman gave stillbirth, I mean, when you yazara mwana feire, let me say that in my language, they would believe the man or the husband had an extramarital affair akakwana heru when the woman was pregnant. The elders also held on to the belief that if a mother died during childbirth, it was also a sign that the husband was conducting extramarital affair while his wife was pregnant. So death was neither a casual topic nor taken as a natural part of life in Chewa society. They had this rock-solid belief that people didn't just vanish into thin air for no reason. So in the Chewa community, for them, they believe someone doesn't just die like that. No, there must be a reason for his death. Now we have understood a bit about how the Chewa community perceived the death. Let us get into the festival of the death. That's where the interesting part is. The festival of the death. Now, historians unveil a unique custom that was once a part of the Chewa tribe's rituals when a member passed away. The designated Chewa people would move the deceased's body to a sacred site or ground. I want you to listen very well. So, the throat of the deceased was then cut. Throat ni manyiso munwa. Yaweza kufa, bakwata omunwa, bagushara, bashukamu amizi. Agwa amizi, bamu, I don't know how they call it in my language, but after cutting the throat of the deceased, they would pour their water through the aperture, and then they squeeze down the stomach until it flowed out through the anus. Omuntu yaheza kufa, bakwata omutumbi, bagutwara omu mwanya gubakoreramu emigenzo, bakwata omunwa, basharaho kakye aha munwa guba mahango, bashukamu amizi, baza hibondo barimata okushitya obwaga amizi gararetwa omu kibuno. Then aga amizi nago barakutekyesa ebyokurya abantu bakarya harufu. That process was repeated until the water emerged clear. Now, this ritual served the purpose of the purification, which symbolized the cleansing of the dead's wrongdoings. And once the water was clear, the water was corrected and turned into a communal meal for the tribe. Ironically, this practice inadvertently facilitated the spread of infections and diseases within the Chewa community. You can imagine someone dies, and then they just get water, they pour through the aperture, I mean the mouth, then they squeeze his stomach until that water comes out from the anus. They repeat that until the water comes clean, and then they use that water to prepare a meal for the whole community to enjoy at the burial. You see, that is not all. The entire village had to attend the funeral. The things of saying someone has died and me, I won't go there to bury. In the Chewa community, if someone dies, the whole community has to attend the burial. Do you know why? I'll tell you. As I mentioned earlier, death was not just a natural part of life here. No, it was often attributed to witchcraft. And the belief was that anyone involved in death would be reluctant to attend the funeral. A protective mechanism, and as a result, it prompted the entire village to gather as a precaution. Because in the Chewa community, like I told you earlier when I was starting the video, I said in the Chewa community, death is not something that they believe just happens. For them, they think for someone to die, there must be a very big reason. And that reason is always associated with witchcraft. So for them, they think if, for example, someone who killed the deceased is in that community, they would somehow, somewhere hesitate to attend the burial. So what they do, they made it a law, mandatory for every person to attend the burial as a protective mechanism. And as a result, it prompted the entire village to gather. But anyway, before we go there, beyond the veil of mourning, the Chewa funerals held a unique role as a time of connection, where social bonds were forged over shared meals and drinks. And there you have it, the Chewa tribe's unique dance with death. A tapestry woven with briefs and practices that might just leave your eyebrows raised, from the area throat-cutting ritual to the unexpected twist of using purified water in meals. These customs pull back the curtain on a world where death is not just an event, but a journey intertwined with the living. And when the entire village turns up for the funeral, it is not just a somber affair. It is a shield against forces they believe are brewing in the shadows. So, now I'm very curious. What do you make of this Festival of the Dead? Do you find it fascinating, bizarre, or maybe a mix of both? These traditions give us a glimpse into a vibrant cultural universe where life, death, and the in-between collide, revealing a people's profound attempt to navigate the mysteries of mortality. My name is Dedan. In case you watched the video till the end, please kindly give it a like, subscribe to the channel,